Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the swamp. Come with me. This is what I'm working on today. I'm working on the Denon turntable. Put a little more time into it. See if we can't figure out the issue. I think I figured it out, but I wanna verify it's not something else. So this is going to be kind of an informal, I guess. First, I want to say that my previous video when I was showing the vinyl finds for I think I have it for April 2018. I think it was what it was. A YouTuber by the name of Zeram01. I made a comment that you couldn't really see very well because of the glare of the light in the background, and I apologize for that. So, I just want to put that out there. So, I just kind of want to put my 2 cents in. Well, not my 2 cents, but I've had nothing but bad experience with online, selling online, not as far as eBay or anything like that. I'm talking like Letgo and Craigslist. I've used it a lot, but I've had bad experience. I get a lot of scams. But most recently, I just pushed over the edge. I just, this is my full-time job. This is it's a hobby. It keeps me busy, keeps me sane. So basically, I got an email and about the Denon, the turntable I'm working on right now. I got an email. I finally decided to sell it. And it wasn't 100%. It was the only problem was it wasn't getting sound out of one channel, but everything was functional, So I figured I'd sell it, and so this guy sent me an email and said sure, this day, this time, he showed up. We agreed on the price. We agreed on the price. As long as I could show that it's functional and that it works, and he understood that there was a problem with one channel. So he comes over and he's looking at it, and he has a problem with the control, the speed control of the turntable. It's one of those ones you have to have it lined up just perfectly, and then just how it was designed. He says, this isn't lining up, and I was like, what are you talking about? The thing is completely fine. So I went over and I adjusted it, and it was working fine. Just I don't know what it's like. I think what happened was he had one price in mind, and he was looking for, even though we agreed on the price, he was looking for a reason not to pay that price. Is what I was getting is the gist I was getting from it. Like, even though he said, your price is okay if you can show me it works, and I just don't think he wanted to pay it. So he's like nitpicking everything, and he already there was no problem with it, except the problem I had told him with the channel. So, he goes over, okay, yeah, it's working fine now, yeah. So, so he's kind of, making sure, everything's functional, and he realizes that, there was a little hum coming out of the speaker if you touch the toner arm, which was new. It wasn't happening before. It was the ground wire. I knew what it was right away because I've had the issue with my turntable, and I fixed it, and so I knew what it was. And I said, well, the issue was I was contemplating on selling my Sensui receiver that I've opted to keep and not sell. I'm using it as my testing receiver. Hook my CD player up to it, and I can hook up as many things as I want to. So I decided to keep that out in the shed, or out in the workshop. So the problem was it wasn't a good ground to the receiver, but the ground on the turntable was absolutely fine. And I was like, the problem is, I explained that I swapped the receivers. I swapped out the receivers, kind of changed a couple things around, and the way that the ground on the receiver is, you're supposed to have have your ground wire, and it goes in, and then you tighten up the nut, and it grounds it, and it just, for whatever reason, just wasn't getting a good ground, but it was fine on the receiver in my house. And he says, well, I'll give you $50. Listen, we already agreed on 70, and I'm not jumping through hoops for people. I'm just not. I'm not. And I'm upfront and honest with people. I'm not trying to, scam anybody. So I explained to him the problem, and I said, first off, it's just a ground, okay? If there's an issue, which there isn't, it's not that big of a deal, okay? I explained to him that it was working fine. I swapped the receivers out, and just the receiver inside the house was a different kind of ground. He's like, oh, humming and hawing about it, and I said, listen, I'll tell you what, just because of the quick, setting it up and stuff like that, I said, I'll do 60, and that's it. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what. He says, well, if you could hook it up to the receiver in the house and show me, and I'm like, no. I'm not. No, I said, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And these people, they want you to jump through hoops, and it's like you're either gonna buy it or you're not. Like, don't waste my fucking time. It was more inconvenience for him, because he drove probably a good 30 to 40 minutes to get here. And I'm like, that it's $60, and it's for the issue, it's not that big of an issue. It really is not. And in my head, I was thinking, even if there was an issue, which there isn't, even if there was an issue, you're going to be going into the unit to figure out, because as we were talking, I think he knew what the problem was with the sound. So in my head, I'm like, well, you're going to go in there to diagnose that problem with the one channel. It's probably, maybe, I thought it was either the cartridge or the RCA cable. You're going to figure out the ground at that point. It's not that big of a deal. He was just trying to Jew me down. I said, I'm not going any lower than that. It was a reasonable price for the turntable. So that got me, I said no. So he left, and I'm like, I was just so fucking disgusted. I shut down my Let Go account. I'm not using that anymore. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with Craigslist right now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit the accessibility to me. I think what I'm going to do is if I post something, I'm thinking of they're going to only be going to be phone calls, no emails, no texts. They're going to be phone calls only. Because I'll tell you, there are so many scams out there. I actually just got a scam last week for the first time. This was the first time for this particular scam. I get this text. And it says, I'm interested in whatever it was I was selling. I'm gonna send you a access code, or whatever they called it, some sort of a code, like a 6 or 7 digit code. I want you to text it back to me. And I text back to the person, and I said, I have been on Craigslist for more than 5 years now, and I have never ever had to do that. And he explained, well, I want to make sure that you're not a computer. I want to make sure you're a person. And I said, call me, and I'll tell you I'm a person. Call the number. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. I don't know what they were going to access if I verify that code. But I'm not taking that chance. And it's disgusting that even you get your phone calls at home, and then the phone call you get scams, when you're just trying to sell things, and it's such a fucking aggravation. It is kind of better to sell things on eBay, but I want to do things locally, because I don't like shipping large objects. So large and heavy objects because it gets expensive. So I just want to kind of put that story out there. It's just I want to know what your experience is with selling on Craigslist or Let Go, whatever it is your means of selling is. You know, like I said, this isn't my full time. I have a real full-time job. This is just a hobby. But I'm just so aggravated and disgusted with this guy who came by yesterday, and it was like I just, you know, I don't know. I don't know why. You know, it really wasn't a big deal. So anyway, so that's it. You know, this isn't any kind of a thread or anything like that. You know, I don't do thread videos. I don't do, you know, I'm not doing a subscriber, you know, contest or I don't do any of those anymore. So this isn't really technically a thread. I'm just curious. I'd like to know what your thoughts are, whether you want to do video, shoot me a message or whatever. And I mean that's really it, you know. And about the receiver the Sensui receiver I redid, and I got it right here. You know, I was on the fence on selling it, and I decided, you know, the funny thing is, I decided to keep it. So I took my old receiver, my Toshiba receiver, out of the stereo cabinet and went to go put this one in, and it didn't fit. I was like, fuck. You know, it's such a freaking monster. So I sat on it for a day. I said, wait a minute, get the best of both worlds. I can keep it out in my workshop, and I can use it, and I don't have to get rid of it because I really enjoy it. It's a really nice unit. So there it is. It's right there. And I've got for testing, I've got different hookups, and I have them labeled to know what they are, what they're hooked up to, so I can hook anything up to it instead of going into the back. And yeah, so that's kind of cool. I got that all rigged up, and got my trusty CD player here. So anyway, let me know what you have to. Let me know what your experiences are, or experience is selling online. I'm kind of curious to know if you've had bad or good experience. So take care. Be kind to others.